I'm Bakersfield, California Motorsports writer. It's our fourth season of doing this show. Wow. I don't know why, but we are. Louis Amistoy started this a few years ago. I think it turned out to be a pretty good idea. Got Steve Hughes in here and special guest Derek Thorne. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Look for the red light.
Where's it at?
Light.
We don't.
No camera.
No.
So they're over here.
Hey,
oh,
there we go.
Are. There they are.
Now we can wave.
They're waving. They're going to join us for a couple of segments. This first segment, we talk a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And then next segment, KCRP.
Mm-hmm.
So first, we got to run through these slides as usual.
All right, let's take a look.
Take a look. We got American flag because, you know,
America bless America.
Love America.
Yes,
I'm
we
proud.
do.
And we've been covering racing for like forever, which we have another slide
Long time.
here.
Long time.
Go ahead and show that next one. Charmaine, go ahead and run through the slides there. Yep. America. And then we've got Fast Trip is going to be back this year.
That's wonderful news.
We've got wonderful news. They're going to be sponsor the all-area team again. And Charmaine, we can go here. And I've got the section on camera here from a couple of years. Well, last year.
Yep, December.
Last year we did this little 4-page special section. Had a driver of the year. Open this up and you can see 60 drivers.
So driver of the year was Buddy Shepard last year?
Right.
Okay, and then 2015 driver of the year was this cat right here. That's right.
Yeah.
Inaugural.
And recap
Inaugural.
a lot of stuff there, so.
Inaugural.
Inaugural.
Yeah, it just depends on if you spent some time in Wisconsin or something.
Inaugural.
So a good thing there that I think, I don't know, do the drivers like that?
Absolutely. I think it's great to be able to show or represent, you know, the talent that Bakersfield has. It's always been a hub. I'm from away from Bakersfield, Lakeport, and Bakersfield's always been a hub of racing. And it's great to showcase that at the end of the year with all the talent that Bakersfield has to offer from the racing community.
Yeah, I think so. And if you look at the drivers on there that were feted last year, 60 of them, we include some of the guys out there, the motocross drivers, the amateurs doing well. We've got 3 of those kids out there doing well. You
National champions,
racers, a little of everything in there. So I think it shows there is quite a bit of talent here that gets things done on the tracks.
And, man, here we took a couple of weeks off. So it's been 2 weeks since we've sat in these chairs with the Power Hour.
Because
Easter break,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah, and NASCAR didn't run on Easter. But
Nope.
Charmaine, go ahead and show the slides here. Run through those first 3 or 4 slides. They raced at Texas.
Bad
2 weeks
fast.
ago, yeah. So
Cookie cutter, but bad fast.
yeah, that,
Yeah.
and then you
We
had
did 1 and 2, I think.
They redid the
Reconfigured that bad
whole
boy.
thing. They repaved, a little bit of reconfiguration on that deal. Absolutely.
Kevin Harvick won the pole for that. Started on the pole, and there he is at the green flag. And as usual, we have another slide here of the pits. I think always crowded action on the pit stops at Texas. And
Oh boy.
and I just love these shots because that's a mess.
Yeah.
That's
Surprised not more people get hurt. You know, they've been doing. They got a lot of safety equipment nowadays, but there's a lot of cars coming in and a lot of things moving around for people not to get hit.
And I go back to the old days where they did not used to have speed limits.
Oh heck no! 90 miles an hour coming in hot.
Riverside International Raceway. Oh,
Probably the original GM brakes too. Probably wouldn't stop with the darn.
And Jimmy Johnson came away with the win there.
That was a sneaky win. That was a sneaky win by Jimmy Johnson. Sneaky. Didn't really see him. I mean, he was in the top 15, but sneaky late.
Yeah, and that's what you want to be.
Right.
Hendrick hasn't been all that stout, and it was crazy to see him come out of nowhere.
Yep.
Came out of nowhere, and
boom.
the slide there, Kevin Harvick finished 4th. There was probably okay. You take that. And then we've got the points run down here after the first few races. Kyle Larson, what a heck of a season for that young
What an animal.
driver.
Well, and this is where we're seeing the shakeup with the new stage racing, right? Is in the point standings.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
Yeah, because they're winning stages. Kyle Larson, you can see he's got
Yep.
stage wins there. Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, he's been around for a while, of course.
Yep.
And Joey Logano. Kevin Harvick is 10th in points with I think he's got 3 points that carry over. The parentheses are the points that carry over to the wins or stage wins that carry over to the playoff.
Those playoff bonus points, which carry all the way through the playoffs. It used to be called the chase. Now it's the playoffs.
Yeah. Now they count. When you open up the playoffs, you get those bonus points. So go figure.
So you win a race, you're not locked in?
Nope.
Well, you're locked in the playoffs.
Kinda.
You're going to be in, but those points when they reset the points,
When they seed
when
the
they're
top
seeded
drivers.
1 through 12 or
Yeah,
16, whatever, those points in parentheses instead of being based on wins only, those points go to the driver and the the playoffs, so they'll have whatever bonus points they earn. So you could be a few points ahead.
So you win a stage 1 or stage 2, you get a point that carries over.
Yeah, I got
you also
that.
get 10 championship points.
Okay.
And then they give championship points from first back to 10th in descending order.
Yeah.
And then if you get the black and white checkered flag, then you get a bonus point, which carries over. 3 bonus points, which carries over into the playoffs.
They
So
put a lot of thought into this, didn't they?
they did. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it changes it up.
Mixes
They
it
change
up
it
a
up
little
to make
bit.
you trade
Mixes
it.
it up a little bit.
We've got the Xfinity standings here, I think, on the next slide, or where they finished. Ryan Reed finished 11th at
Good
Texas.
run.
He was running up there in the top 5, and then I think he tried to play some tire strategy in the last pit stop, and it didn't work out too well. So
No.
he finished 11th, but he was happy with the run. Not happy with the finish, but happy with
Roush
the
has found a little bit of momentum, even on Stenhouse's side. They seem to be running just a little bit better than they have been.
So Ryan's having a good year. Casey's running a few Xfinity races. He finished 38th, or did not finish when you're 38th, so not a good run there in the Geico military car for Casey this year. And then we have the Geico, the Xfinity Series points. Elliott Sadler, been around for a while.
Long time.
And Ryan Reed back in 3rd, so those 5 points there carry over. And he's leading the way, well, him and Justin with the wins. With the 5 points for a win there, they've each won a race. So they're locked into the chase as well.
It's great.
So you had that going on. Did you watch the F1 race?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
Was that pretty
Yeah.
good?
Nah, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I was just kind of watching the Haas cars. It seems like I've been kind of watching. I mean, they made a splash last year, it seems like, in the Formula One deal, being the only American-based team. And, they still run, it seems like, between 8th and 12th, 8th and 14th, somewhere in there, depending on how they get going. But those guys, I don't know if it's McLaren, Mercedes, or the Ferrari folks, but, man, they are fast.
It's the Ferrari folks that are fast. Sebastian Vettel with a win, second win in 3 races. Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes won the last race before that. But Ferrari's pumping their chest out, showing off the red flag right now because they're leading the manufacturer points and they're leading the
Drivers' points.
Yeah.
And they're pretty happy in Italy right now. They have not been happy the last couple of years.
When you look at NASCAR and you look at Formula One, the amount of money you got to spend to run Formula One versus the upper divisions of NASCAR, it is mind-blowing. You think NASCAR is expensive, then you go on that side, and it just blows your mind.
You just watch those
races
and
Just going through the paddock of a Formula One race, there's more money spent there than there is probably an entire season of a NASCAR team.
And the frightening thing is they don't even do fuel pit stops anymore. They stopped that years ago, probably because they're going to burn people to death because who knows what type of fuel and how volatile it is. But they were having, they could refuel those cars because it was the pressurized fueling where not gravity fed like IndyCar or anybody else with sense. They pressure fed that fuel in there on those pit stops, and if something went wrong, you'd fuel spree.
2.1 second pit stops.
And that's what
YouTube,
they're doing now without fueling.
YouTube Formula One pit stops from the past versus present. There's like a 3-minute video that'll take you through all the years.
All the years.
Oh, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's just amazing technology in that, and they've ratcheted the technology back in F1 to make it less expensive.
Allegedly.
So McLaren used to be good in F1. They're not very good anymore. So McLaren's Fernando
Alonso
is coming to race
The Indy 500.
Indy 500, and I guess that's big news because he's a 2-time champion, but that was in 2005 and 2006. And if you look at McLaren now, he's going to be missing the Monaco Grand Prix. Maybe that's a good thing because McLaren's at the back of the pack, so why do you want to go run the streets of Monaco?
And the guy at Andretti, is it Andretti Autosports that they're going to team up with? That guy had to get out of his seat for that guy to come in and fill it. I wasn't quite following the whole publicity stunt they were trying to pull off there.
Yeah, and Andretti's saying it's not a publicity stunt. And so there's plenty, if you go on social media and check out, you can check out a bit about that because there's quite a bit of talk about, is this a good thing or is it just a publicity stunt?
And McLaren used to be a player in kart. In IndyCar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
They used to be a player back in the day in F1.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
They're back there with Sauber. And,
boy.
They're at the back of the field. They're like last place, so.
That's not good.
Not good. Not good. And something Derek, I think, should do sometime. NHRA is back in action this weekend at Baytown, Texas, Spring Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
I think a nitro funny car for you.
One solid pass. I'd probably pass out. I'd be like, would remember it. but it would be awesome to try.
It'd be awesome. to sit in one of
Absolutely.
those cars. At least just
Oh,
do
yeah.
a burnout and a launch.
Hey, I have an extreme appreciation for every type of auto sports. You know, you look from the outside looking in, like, oh, I race circle track. These guys don't do it as hard. They don't work as hard. But, man, you got to have an appreciation for every type of auto sport, motorcycle racing across the board, because there's so much that goes into so many things that keeps those divisions competitive. To be on top of your game in whatever division you're in is extremely difficult. So hats off to everybody
On
that's.
that. And you've never done any dirt tracking or anything?
When I was younger, I did some what they consider like the QRC carts, like the outlaw carts.
Right.
I grew up doing that,
Yeah.
and then I got into the asphalt stuff when I was 13.
And speaking of karts, have you been to the new hotspot in town?
I have.
Bakersfield karting experience?
It is awesome. If
Is it?
anybody hasn't been to that deal, man, they're in for a shock. Like, you sit there and watch, and then you get in and actually drive. It is a freaking awesome time to go run those things.
Is
How'd
it?
you do?
Oh, it is awesome.
How'd you
I
do?
get my ass handed to me all the
Yeah.
time. I don't
Oh,
know if I
there
can
you
say
go.
the A word on the radio
can.
deal, but
Yeah.
man, those kids, there's an extreme. There's a technique to it that you would think you just get and hold the gas down and get after it, but it is a lot tougher than it looks. There's a couple kids out there we're racing against, and I think I went a lap down. Oh yeah, D
Wow.
Thorne got the old was that the blue and yellow?
Wow.
Or the pink and black
The
one.
move over
I don't
flag.
get to see that very often, but
You know, that's a courtesy. You
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
You don't have to.
Oh,
do
I
that.
didn't
That's,
either.
Yeah, especially when the
I started-
11-year-old kid's coming
oh, yeah.
up on you.
I got started swerving about that time.
I've heard guys, some race car drivers complaining on Facebook that they get hurt worse out there when they get bumped and hit than, with the lower back than they do in the race car.
Yeah.
It is. It's definitely one of the. You're going faster than you might think.
Yeah. So a good thing out there. That's out there off of Buck Owens Boulevard. And
Yeah.
for those who've been around for a while, the old Costco building.
Old Costco building.
Converted out there,
Yeah.
and they've got that. They've got you can do radio control cars there. They've got a restaurant in there, a bunch of games. you can play.
Smokies restaurant.
So-
Yeah.
You get out there. If you have a bad back, don't get
Yeah,
in those.
they got
cars.
some pads there too. You can put it in case your back is a little bit on the ifs.
Golf
And-
simulator.
Yeah.
If you got a bad back, just hit some golf balls.
Oh, yeah, that's really good
that's
for
really
it.
good for it too.
Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
for it too. So, okay, well, we're going to be back. We're going to take a break here. We're going to be back with Steve Hughes and Derek Thorne, and we're going to talk about Kern County Raceway Park and the Spears Southwest Tour Race coming up. I think we're taking a break here. We're still on.
The Winter Showdown in February.
I hear music. That is the way.